I'm ready for Halloween. I'm over this heat. It's awful. I'm over it. Hey guys, what's up? It's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. Anyway, I'm working on it, okay? I'm really trying to be better at videos. We'll see where this goes. I'm excited for today's video because it is almost August, and in Ashley's world, that means it is Halloween time. For the last several years, I have been decorating my house at the end of August for Halloween season, and I think I might just, decorate next week. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for gray skies. I'm ready for colorful leaves. I'm ready for cold weather. I'm just over the heat wave, okay? I'm just over it. Anyways, so I've noticed like for the last several years, SUMMERWEEN has kind of become a new trend, and especially this summer, the trend has really started taking off, and I've noticed in the book community, a lot of people are recommending SUMMERWEEN type of books. Now for me, SUMMERWEEN obviously is gonna be Halloween-esque types of stories for summer. For me specifically, it's gonna be like a dark romance with spooky mystery vibes, probably taking place in a warmer type of climate. I've seen a lot of people in the book community put together some rec lists for SUMMERWEEN, but I've only seen thrillers and mysteries, which obviously, yeah, those work so great for this specific type of rec, but I haven't really seen any romances. So I decided to put a list together because I've read a lot that I think will fit this category. So for me, I chose romances for this SUMMERWEEN video that have to do with like a spooky vibe, mystery, suspense, and like I said, there's like a warmer weather climate going on. So I think I have 7 to 8 books, I can't remember, but anyway, here are those recommendations. Okay, first up I have Pen Pal by JT Guissenger. I don't know, I think I butcher that name every time I talk about it. This book specifically was recently republished, and it has beautiful sprayed edges like at Target, Barnes & Noble, Walmart. Go check it out. Before I really talk about this story, I do want to emphasize this is one you need to go in blind. I know it's really hard to recommend a book in a rec video where you say to go in blind, so I'll kind of just give you the gist of it. But like I said, you are just going to get more of that impact if you really don't know anything that's going on. But I'll talk about the very beginning, the setup. So we have our female main character, and at the very beginning of the story, she is literally at her husband's funeral burying him. And when she returns home, there is a letter from a man she's never met before saying that he's waiting for her and that he's gonna come and get her. So that is all that I'm gonna talk about this one. Like I said, just go in blind. It's a great setup. It's a great mystery. It's like a wow, what the fuck moment at the end, but I really, really enjoyed this story, and I just think it gives great SUMMERWEEN vibes. Then I have another book by JT Guissenger on my list, and it is Midnight Valentine. This is another one that I think you should go in blind, but I'll kind of give you the setup and the gist of it. So our female main character is new to town. She has moved to a coastal Oregon town because she wants to open up her own bed and breakfast. I believe it was a dream of her and her late husband's to do. So once again, we have our female main character being a widower type of situation. And in this story, the male main character that she meets really, really gives her reincarnation vibes. Like to her, this is her husband to her. Like it's wow, like the way he acts, everything. But once again, this is just another great story, and I think because of the mystery and the reincarnation vibes and not knowing what's going on, it's great for SUMMERWEEN. And then Does It Hurt by H.D. Cartlton. This was an alternate edition that I got on Amazon, and I do actually like this cover a lot better than the other one. But I think probably out of all of the books on my list, this is going to be the perfect one for SUMMERWEEN, because I'm not gonna lie, the entire time I was reading this book, I was more intrigued with the mystery and the creepiness than I was with the romance. Now, don't get me wrong, this is still a great romance book, but I just think like the plot was fire. It was great. I mean, yeah, I kept turning these pages just because I needed to know what was going to happen. But our setup for this story is that our female main character is on the run, and as you read more and more through the book, you'll learn why she's on the run. But she basically steals people's identities so she can continue to live her life. And at the very beginning of the story, she meets our male main character, and she ends up stealing his identity after a one-night stand. She like takes his wallet, his cards, everything. Well, this guy is not gonna let that go, so he decides to meet up with her and kind of like trick her, like, hey, I don't know, you know, I don't know that you took my stuff. And he is like, he's like this deep sea fisherman shark guy. I don't remember the logistics of it, but anyway, he has a boat and he offers to take her out on it for the afternoon. Well, while they're out there, obviously he threatens to unalive her for taking his things, and a storm happens and they both get shipwrecked on this very tiny island with a very creepy lighthouse. And the lighthouse has a very creepy caretaker. And it's the caretaker's story that you're learning about, because I'm just telling you, it's a great story. It's got a great mystery. I don't really know how else to describe it. But anyway, there are sharks, there is an island, there's a creepy lighthouse. It is perfect for Summerween. All right, and this next one I talk about in a lot of recommendation videos, but it fits this trope perfectly, and that is Phantom by Greer Rivers. So this is a Phantom of the Opera retelling, but it takes place in New Orleans, and so I think with the warmer weather climate and all of the gothic and spooky vibes, it fits this category perfect. So like I said, this is a Phantom of the Opera retelling, but it is where the villain, the Phantom, gets the girl. In this world, this is mafia-esque, so the Phantom is like the head of the New Orleans mafia. He lives underground in the tunnels, and he stalks our female main character, Scarlett, who is a student at a musical academy that he like oversees or something. Well, he just listens to her voice one day and just becomes so enthralled with her. But this is one of my favorite books ever. I'm actually probably going to reread it soon, but yeah, just another great one. And this next one is going to fit the weird category, and that is Ecstasy by Keri Rose. I've talked about this one in a few videos. This is definitely a romance that is not like your average everyday romance. I know dark romances like really aren't average everyday romances, but this is just really, really out there. So this is a love triangle, and the entire time in the book, our female main character, she's a drug addict. This book just gives me huge Euphoria vibes. And Zara, our female main character, she just constantly has to be high on a drug trip. So like I said, this is a love triangle with Alex and Eli. They are best friends. They are college roommates. And Zara is already kind of dating Alex, but they have a very toxic relationship. Like at the beginning of the story, they are fighting with each other at a party, and she goes off and she sees Eli watching them, and Eli, I don't really know what to say about Eli Addison except that he's just amazing. I love Eli. Eli has 2 more books after this, which is The Ominous Duet, which takes place before this. I could get on a whole spew about that series just because it's amazing. But anyway, Eli is a psychopath. And then you have Alex with a lot of anger issues, and then you have Zara constantly on a drug trip. There's water-related things in here because Eli loves the water. So yeah, I just thought it would be kind of a good out there one for Summerween. All right, then we have Be Still My Heart by Emily McIntyre and Savar Miller. I read this a few years ago, so I don't remember a whole lot of details about it, but I do remember this is absolutely perfect for this specific video. This takes place in a coastal town, and it's at the very beginning of fall. Like Halloween is going on, but like I said, it's a coastal town, so there's a lot of things going on with water and lighthouses and things like that. So if I remember correctly, there's a murder that happens, or like a string of murders, I think. I can't remember the logistics. But anyway, it brings our female main character to town because she is a detective. And so she is trying to figure out everything going on. And if I remember correctly, I'm so sorry. Like I said, it's been so long since I've read this book, but I promise from what I remember, it's perfect for this. She really thinks that he is the one that did it. So that's really what makes this story fun. He is also an ex-Navy SEAL, so it just makes for some fun stuff. But like I said, there's a murder mystery plot going on. She's a detective. She thinks he did it. it's just a recipe for a fun book. I have An Isle of Sin and Shadows by Keri Lake. This one was another one I read a few years ago, but I did really enjoy this. This is great for this time of year. It's great for spooky season. It's just a great gothic romance. So this takes place in the Louisiana Bayou, and it's one of those stories where I don't know if the blurb does a great job at setting it up, because you just have no idea what the fuck is going on. And I think that's why it's perfect for this category. But you have mafia elements, you have an age gap, and like I said, you have really creepy cult things going on, like rituals and sacrifices. So anyway, we have our female main character, and she, like I said, there's this whole mystery going on with her and how she ended up where she is, because she was raised by a guy that was not her father. It was like a family friend that ended up taking her, but like he clued her in that she should always go back and figure out what happened. I don't know. It was a lot, but it was just very creepy and mysterious. And like I said, there was like cults and sacrifices and things like that, and it was just good. And the romance was really great too. But yeah, I did enjoy this one from what I remember. Next, I'm going to go the historical route, and that is Sea of Ruin by Pam Godwin. This is my Mystic Box edition. I absolutely love it. But this is another book where I don't want to talk too much about it, because I think you should go in blind, just because the book, the way the tropes are described, like, yes, that is the story, but it turns into something else without going into spoilers. But anyway, the setup for our story is that we have our female main character, and she is the daughter of a former pirate captain. And so she has like taken over her father's ship, everything like that. And to make the story interesting, she has her, I don't know if they're still married or if he's her ex-husband at this point, but he's another pirate captain, and they have a lot of banter, but you can tell they're still very much into each other. And then in the beginning of the story, she is actually kidnapped by a pirate hunter. So this is a love triangle. Kinda. Yes and no. Like I said, I don't want to get into it because it's very spoilery, but I will say that the book takes a turn that is just, it's great. It's great literature. But I love this because, like I said, this is all about pirates. So you're constantly going to be on a ship, out on the sea, water, summer, whatever. But this is very dark. Our female main character does go through horrible, horrible things to get to her journey to the end of the story. And it's a lot, but I really do enjoy this one. All right, and then last up, kind of same in the pirate-esque area, but it's a fantasy. We have A Ship of Bones and Teeth by Karina, Halle. This is the hardcover edition. You can get it on Amazon. I'm in love with it, but this is a great story. So this is a fantasy retelling. It's very Pirates of the Caribbean meets Little Mermaid. Our setup is basically if Ariel marries Prince Eric and then he turns out to be a big dick, like what would happen after that? So obviously our female main character is a mermaid, but in this story, the mermaids are sirens. So they are depicted as very evil types of creatures. And then we have our pirate. And it's a fun story. I really, really did enjoy this. And then I do know that a sequel came out. I don't think it's the same people, but I do need to read it. But this is just another great one for SUMMERWEEN. Like I said, we have a lot of fantasy elements. So we have sirens and pirates and spooky things, and it's just great. All right, so that'll do it for all of my SUMMERWEEN recs. If you guys have any more romance books that kind of fit this category with spooky-esque things, let me know, because like I said, I'm ready for Halloween. I'm over this heat. It's awful. I'm over it. So I'm sitting in my house with the AC cranked to 67, sitting in sweatpants, just imagining that it's cold outside. Anyway, as always, don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!